Well, it's finally raining up north where the fires are, but as of tonight, still zero containment in those fires burning in northeastern Minnesota. They've been fueled by hot, windy conditions that we've experienced down here. Another problem, a lot of dead and down trees. It's time for Breaking the News. I'm Janice Shortle. So what's killing those trees, you might want to know, is an insect that is the size of a grain of rice, and it's eating its way through balsam fir and spruce in what's now the worst outbreak in decades. So can the budworm ever be stopped? Here's Jennifer Hoff.
Large wildfires are leaving their mark across northeastern Minnesota. A problem only made worse by something as small as a grain of rice.
Yep, it's pretty significant.
That the DNR's Eric Otto is fighting against just as hard.
They're called a budworm because that's where you kind of find them in the buds.
The budworm, a native insect hatching right now amongst the balsam fir and white spruce trees that make up most of the Northwoods, feeding on the foliage so much the trees eventually die.
A tree can have thousands of caterpillars, and that's what results in the destruction.
Otto says 700,000 acres have been destroyed in this latest outbreak, the worst in more than 60 years.
What do you think is leading to such an outbreak like that?
Just the dense amount of balsam fir, and we have more mature balsam fir in the landscape, and that kind of starts an outbreak.
The trees are already a fire risk with thin bark and shallow roots. Add in even fewer trees resistant to fire, logging, and a patchwork of land ownership, and controlling the problem is complicated.
A lot of it is federal Forest Service, then state, county, a lot of private landowners, which also complicates things if you wanted to do any prescribed burning or different types of management.
How do you ever then put a stop to this?
Just increasing that tree diversity, making the landscape more resilient the next time budworm rolls around.
The budworm eventually turns into a moth, laying more eggs that hatch later this summer.
They won't really do any feeding damage. They basically almost just look for a site to overwinter, usually under the bark.
The cycle then starts all over again, killing a tree in as few as 5 years. The dead and downed ones now fueling this fire's growth.
There's a heavy dead component due to bugworm. So there's a lot of receptive fuels everywhere.
Crews starting to put out one problem, only to have another one nearly impossible to fight.
We'll always have, spruce budworm outbreaks as long as we have, balsam fir and white spruce.
Jennifer Hoff, KARE 11 News.
Interesting stuff. So that worm will even circle back to an area that it already destroyed. So the folks that Jennifer talked to are hopeful new trees, like they talked about, red and white pine, that will help the forest area get more resilient and protect our beautiful northern landscape for years to come. Be right back.